Long before modern pipes, pumps, and treatment plants, ancient cities faced the same quiet question that every human settlement has faced. How do we find water? How do we move it? And how do we make it last? Water was never simply a resource. It was the foundation of survival, the rhythm of daily life, and the silent force shaping entire civilizations. As we begin this journey, imagine a world without taps, without faucets, without pressure gauges or electric pumps. In this world, every drop of water had to be understood, respected, and carefully guided. Ancient cities did not rise at random. They formed along rivers, near springs, beside seasonal floods, and in places where water could be captured, stored, and shared. From the earliest settlements, people observed how water moved through the land. They watched rainfall soak into soil. They noticed how rivers swelled and retreated. They learned which slopes carried water gently and which ones caused destruction. Over generations, this observation turned into knowledge, and knowledge turned into engineering. Some of the earliest water systems were simple: shallow wells dug into groundwater, channels carved into earth, clay jars placed beneath dripping rock faces. But even these early solutions required planning. A poorly placed well could collapse. A channel cut at the wrong angle could flood homes. Water left stagnant could bring disease. So ancient builders learned to work slowly, carefully, and deliberately. In Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, cities learned to manage water in a land of extremes. Floods arrived suddenly and violently, while dry seasons stretched endlessly. To survive, the people of these early cities dug canals that redirected river water into fields and reservoirs. These canals were not accidental trenches. They followed measured slopes, carefully calculated to keep water moving, without eroding the land. Gates made of wood and stone, controlled when water entered and when it stopped. This allowed farmers to irrigate crops, even when the rains failed. But water management also created new challenges. As irrigation water evaporated, salt remained in the soil. Over centuries, fields became less fertile. The very system that sustained the cities also demanded constant adaptation. Water management was never static. It required awareness, maintenance, and communal effort. Far to the east, in the Indus Valley, a very different approach emerged. Cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa were built with water in mind from the very beginning. Homes were arranged around wells, some of them shared, others private. Almost every house had access to fresh water. But what truly sets the Indus Valley apart is what happened after the water was used. Instead of letting waste flow openly through streets, engineers constructed covered drainage systems. Water moved beneath the city, guided through brick-lined channels, sloped just enough to carry waste away, without stagnation. Inspection holes allowed maintenance. Removable bricks allowed cleaning. This was not improvised engineering. It was standardized, planned, and widespread. Remarkably, there is little evidence of palaces or kings directing these efforts. The systems suggest cooperation, shared responsibility, and a collective understanding that clean water meant a healthy city. As we move westward, we encounter one of history's most famous water systems, the Roman aqueducts. When people think of Roman engineering, they often imagine towering arches stretching across valleys. But the true brilliance of Roman aqueducts lies not in their height, but in their subtlety. Water traveled across vast distances with almost no drop in elevation. In many aqueducts, the slope was less than a meter over several kilometers. This required precise surveying, careful construction, and constant maintenance. Aqueducts carried water into cities, where it was distributed through lead and clay pipes. Public fountains provided free access. Bathhouses offered hygiene and relaxation. Sewers carried wastewater away. Water flowed continuously, day and night. Yet even Rome depended on gravity, not machines. Every channel followed the land's natural contours. When valleys appeared, arches supported channels at the same elevation. When hills rose, tunnels were carved through rock. Water management shaped Roman cities, as much as roads or walls. But not every civilization lived near rivers. Some thrived in deserts, where rainfall was rare and survival required creativity. In Petra, the Nabatean people built a city into rose-colored stone. At first glance, Petra appears impossible. How could a city exist in such an arid landscape? The answer lies in water harvesting. Rain that fell only a few times each year was captured through channels carved into cliffs. These channels led water into cisterns, where it was stored safely underground. Flash floods, instead of destroying the city, were redirected into reservoirs. Dams slowed rushing water. Sediment settled. Clean water remained. Petra's water system allowed gardens, fountains, and daily life in the heart of the desert. It was not abundance that sustained Petra, but precision. Every drop mattered. In Southeast Asia, another extraordinary water system emerged. The city of Angkor, capital of the Khmer Empire. Angkor was built in a monsoon climate, where water arrived in overwhelming quantities and then disappeared for months. To manage this, the Khmer constructed vast reservoirs, some stretching for kilometers. These reservoirs stored monsoon rains and released water slowly during dry seasons. Canals connected fields, temples, and neighborhoods. Water served agriculture, transportation, and ritual life. The system was so extensive that it reshaped the landscape itself. But when climate patterns shifted and maintenance faltered, the system became vulnerable. Floods damaged canals, sediment clogged channels. Angkor's decline reminds us that water systems require constant care. They are living networks, not permanent solutions. Across ancient China, engineers approached water with long-term thinking. Projects like the Dujiangyan irrigation system controlled rivers without dams. Instead of blocking water, they guided it. Channels split rivers into manageable flows. Floods were reduced. Fields were irrigated. This system still functions today. Over 2,000 years later, it survives because it works with nature, not against it. As we pause here, take a moment to reflect. Across continents, across cultures, across thousands of years, ancient cities faced the same quiet challenge. And again, they answered it. With observation, patience, and cooperation. In the next part, we will explore how water shaped social structures, religious rituals, public health, and daily life in ancient cities. We will also see how the loss of water systems often marked the beginning of decline. Water shaped not only cities, but the people who lived within them. Water was never neutral. It organized society. Who controlled water, who maintained it, and who accessed it, often determined how power flowed through a city. In many ancient societies, water management was a communal responsibility. Canals needed clearing. Wells needed protection. Reservoirs needed monitoring. This required cooperation across families, neighborhoods, and professions. In places where water was scarce, rules developed around its use. Irrigation schedules were carefully timed. Fields were watered in rotation. Disputes over access were settled by councils or elders. In these systems, water encouraged organization rather than domination. In ancient Egypt, the Nile River set the rhythm of life. Each year, the river flooded its banks. depositing rich silt across the land. Instead of resisting the flood, Egyptian engineers worked with it. They dug basins that captured floodwater, holding it long enough for soil to absorb nutrients. When the water receded, fields were ready for planting. The predictability of the Nile allowed long-term planning. Calendars were built around flood cycles. Taxes were assessed based on flood levels. Religious rituals honored the river as a divine force. Water in Egypt was stability itself. Yet even here, management was essential. Canals needed repair. Levees needed reinforcement. Without care, the system could fail. Farther north, in the cities of the ancient Levant, water was far less reliable. Rainfall varied year to year. Droughts could last seasons. To survive, cities carved cisterns into bedrock. Roofs were angled to direct rainwater into underground chambers. Some cisterns were so large they could supply entire neighborhoods. These hidden reservoirs turned brief storms into long-term security. In times of siege, they could mean survival. Cities that protected their water sources could endure for months, sometimes years. Those that failed fell quickly. Water also shaped public health. Long before germs were understood, people recognized patterns. Stagnant water smelled bad. Communities near polluted streams fell ill more often. In response, ancient engineers designed systems that kept water moving. Drains sloped gently. Wastewater was separated from drinking supplies. In Rome, sewers like the Cluck Maxima carried waste away from the city center. Though imperfect by modern standards, these systems reduced disease and improved daily life. In the Indus Valley, the separation of clean and dirty water was remarkably advanced. Homes had bathing areas connected to drains. Water flowed out, not back in. This attention to cleanliness suggests a deep understanding of cause and effect. Water also influenced social spaces. Public fountains became gathering places. Bathhouses became centers of relaxation and conversation. In Roman cities, the baths were not luxuries for the elite. They were shared spaces, open to many social classes. Water brought people together. In Islamic cities, fountains appeared in courtyards and mosques. Water symbolized purification, calm, and spiritual balance. Flowing water cooled the air, softened sound, and encouraged reflection. In these spaces, engineering met philosophy. Water also played a role in trade. Ports required harbors. Harbors required careful control of tides and sediment. Ancient engineers built breakwaters, docks, and channels to protect ships. In cities like Alexandria, water systems supported industry. Fresh water was needed for food preparation, textiles, and metalworking. Wastewater had to be removed to keep ports functional. Trade networks depended on reliable water infrastructure. As cities grew larger, water systems grew more complex. Maintenance became constant. Stones cracked. Sediment accumulated. Channels shifted. Successful cities invested in upkeep. They trained specialists. They recorded measurements. They passed knowledge between generations. When maintenance failed, systems weakened quietly at first. A blocked channel here, a leaking cistern there. Then, over time, fields dried, fountains slowed, and disease spread. In many cases, the decline of water systems came before political collapse. Angkor is a powerful example. For centuries, its water network sustained millions. But changes in climate brought stronger floods and longer droughts. Canals designed for one pattern struggled to adapt. Without constant repair, the system fractured. The city did not fall suddenly. It faded as water slowly withdrew. Across the ancient world, we see the same lesson repeated. Water systems are not monuments. They are living systems. They require attention, flexibility, and humility. Some civilizations adapted, others could not. Yet many ancient solutions endure. Roman aqueducts still stand. Chinese irrigation systems still function. Desert cisterns still collect rain. They remind us that advanced technology does not always mean complexity. Sometimes it means understanding the land, respecting natural forces, and designing with care. As we near the end of this journey, consider how little has truly changed. Modern cities still depend on gravity, flow, and balance. Pipes are hidden, but principles remain. We still face droughts, floods, and the need to share resources. Ancient cities whisper to us through stone channels and quiet reservoirs. They tell us that civilization begins not with walls or weapons, but with water, and that those who learn to guide it gently can build cities that endure. Now, as this story comes to rest, allow your thoughts to slow. Imagine water flowing calmly through ancient streets, beneath stone floors, and into open fields, steady, silent, sustaining life.